Alright, so let's get into these now. I feel like I'll be getting rid of quite a few of these. So let's start off with this one. This is a dual-ended brush from Anastasia. I can't stand dual-ended brushes. I love this side of the brush for smudging underneath my eye, but the handles is also way too short and it just ends up drowning in my brush collection. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this to someone else because I know that someone else is going to get way more use out of this. This is a dual-ended brush again from Urban Decay. I think I got this in one of my only naked palettes that I used to have. I think it was from the Smoky palette that I've decluttered a long time ago. I'm gonna declutter this brush though. It's not a bad brush. I can't stand dual-ended brushes. I just don't like them. Here's my Morphe M149 brush. Absolutely love this for doing detail work and for my inner corner. Going to keep this for sure. Also going to keep this. This is a Makeup Forever 218 brush. I like this for, you know, doing small detailed crease work and stuff. It's just a nice little fluffy blending brush. This is another dual-ended brush that is from, what are you from? Moda, I'm pretty sure. I don't even know, but I'm gonna declutter this because I don't like dual-ended brushes. And I never buy these. I always get them like in a palette or in a brush set or in a box or something like that, and I can't stand them. Here's a BH Cosmetics brush. This is also from the brush set that I talked about the face brushes. I like this for blending out my eyeshadow primer. I'm definitely going to keep this. Here's a Luxie 141 brush. I also got this one in a set, but I really like this. It's just very nice and small and great for inner corner. Here's another little brush. This is from MAC. It's the 228S brush. Going to keep this one. I'm also going to keep my E42 from Sigma. This is one of my favorite blending brushes. And from the same set is the E25. This is from like their small eye blending brush set that came with like the big version and the small version of the same brush. I think this is the big version of something. I don't know which one, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. Also going to keep my Morphe E36, one of my favorites. Same with my M124 brush. This is great for applying shimmers. Here's a little eyeliner brush from Morphe. I don't love this, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep it just in case I want to use it to apply like a glitter liner or something. It's not the most precise because it is a bit frayed now, but I can definitely find some use for this still. I'm also going to keep this small little angled Luxie brush. Here is probably my absolute favorite brush in my collection. You guys see me use this in like every single look that I do. This is my Rapher P07, what are you called? P07E brush. This is a prototype, so like I don't know what the actual name is going to be for this when it does release, but when it does, I will make sure to let you know because this brush is just so fantastic and it's great if you have small eyes, if you have hooded eyes, if you just want to be more precise with your crease blending. This one is just so good. I'm also going to keep this brush. This is from Alamar. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm, but this is amazing for doing cut creases. This is my Sigma E34. It's called a domed utility brush. I don't love this brush, but I do reach for it sometimes. So I am going to go ahead and keep this around. This is great for using the Natasha Denona shadows, like the cream to powder ones. This kind of brush is great for that. So I'm also going to keep this little lip brush from Morphe. This one I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. This is the BH Cosmetics 10 brush. This looks like it would be really good to do cut creases with, but it's a little bit too thick, just a little bit too thick. And it's also just like, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost too slippery and shiny to be used to pick up shimmers with because it just doesn't pick up anything because it's just so smooth and I don't know. I don't like this brush, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this to someone else. This is a MAC 248 brush. Love this for applying shimmers. This one picks up shimmers a lot better than a BH Cosmetics brush, even though it's like kind of the same thing. This is the 248. Did I say that? I don't know if I said that, but this is the 248. I'm gonna keep this. This is another one of my Rapher brushes, definitely going to keep that. I think I'm just going to pull out all of my Rapher brushes because there's no way I'm going to not keep any of them because I just love them. I will link the video that I did using all of these brushes up in the corner here so you can go check that out if you want to know more about these specific brushes. I will say that they have opened their concept store now, so if you want to go on their site, they have this option where you can order a brush, you pay for it, and then once you review the brush, they will give you back a gift card for the amount of money that you spent for the brush, and you can use that gift card to buy more brushes. So if you're interested in trying some of these brushes, not all of them are available, but the core set that they have and stuff is available. So I will link their website down below if you want to go check it out. But I'm just going to pull out all of my Rapher brushes and just keep them because I don't need to really talk through all of these because I already know I love them and you guys know I love them and I'm going to be keeping all of them. So I think from now on, if I know that I have multiples of a brush, I'm just going to pull all of them out aside and just put them away if I'm going to keep them or not. This is my MAC 242 brush. This is my favorite brush for applying shimmers. I love this brush. It's just so good. It applies it beautifully. It's also kind of fluffy, but not really fluffy, but it's fluffy enough that you can blend shimmers into your crease a slight bit if you want to. So I'm going to keep both of these. Going to declutter this BH Cosmetics brush. It's just a weird brush. I don't like it. This is another one of the fluffy brushes that I have from Makeup Forever. I'm going to keep this one as well. Also going to keep this one. This is from Morphe. It's the M321. I don't use this a whole lot. It's really just a bigger version of the M149, but I still like it, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this. It's good for like smoking out your lower lash line. Here's another Luxie brush. This is from a different line. I don't use this a lot, but I really do like this brush, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it. This is the Narrow Blending Eye Brush. It's the 703. These are my Morphe M506 brushes. These used to be my ride or die blending brushes, but I've since found brushes that I like more that are a little bit better quality, but these are still amazing small blending brushes, and I would still highly recommend these if you've been looking for like really inexpensive brushes. These are great. So I've just kind of pulled out all of my sort of fat packing brushes here because I use all of these to blend up my eyeshadow primer every day. So any kind of brush that's like flat and fluffy, I'm going to keep because I love these for blending out my eyeshadow primer no matter what I use. Even if I use my MAC Paint Pot, they work great for that. If I use my Smashbox primer, they work great for that. So if I find any other ones while I'm doing this as well, anything that I can use to blend out my eyeshadow primer with, I'm going to keep because I never have enough of these kind of brushes because I feel like I almost need to use a new brush every single day because they just end up being nasty if you use them with cream products, you know? So I'm going to keep all of these. Here are some of my other Betsey Johnson brushes. I like the quality of these brushes, but they're honestly, they annoy me so much because they are just too short. So they just drown no matter what I put them next to, and I just can't seem to find them if I need them. So I'm gonna give these to someone else as well because I feel like a lot of people would really like these. So I'm gonna give these to someone who's going to get more use out of them. So here are some duplicates that I've already talked about. I'm going to go ahead and keep all of these because, I mean, I've already put them aside because I love them. So I'm gonna keep all of these. Here's another Sigma brush. This is the E33. I don't love this brush. I find that the bristles are just a little bit too long and they don't give you like the density that you need to really blend things out. But I do like this brush for just going over it as a clean brush to help blend something out with, but I don't like applying shadows with this brush, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. Alright, so let's talk about these stained glass collection brushes from Cleona. As you can see, I did get the whole set, so I'm probably going to keep most of these. These are two very, very large blending brushes that are supposed to be eye brushes, but I love using these for highlighters, so I'm going to put these in with my highlighting brushes. And the rest of these I'm going to keep except for I think this one. Actually, no, I'm going to keep all of these because they do pick up shadows really nicely. So I like all of these for different reasons. These are great for underneath the eye, just smudging out your lower lash line. This is great for shimmers. This is a good small blending brush. So I actually like the whole set that they sent me and I wasn't sure if I would, but I would definitely recommend these brushes if you've been eyeing them. They're beautiful as well. I mean, the handles on these are just so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and keep all of these. These are the Morphe M224 brushes. These are similar to the MAC 242, so if you've been looking for kind of like a dupe for that brush, I would say that these are very similar, but they're just a little bit bigger, but everything else about them is basically the same. This is a Sigma brush that I just don't like. This is the E39. It's a very large dome brush. I just don't like this brush. I don't know what to use it for. I've used it for blending out eyeshadow primer, but I feel like this is a very high quality brush that someone else is going to get more use out of than me. So I would rather give this away to someone who's going to appreciate this brush more than I do, because Sigma brushes are pretty expensive and they're also extremely good quality. They're some of the best brushes that I've ever tried, so I'm gonna just give this to someone else because I feel like my sister-in-law is probably going to love this brush. So here are all of my Morphe M421 brushes. As you can tell, I love this brush. I have 4 of them. It's my favorite brush for cut creases. I just think it's perfect. It's nice and small, it's dense, it's thin enough that you can actually be precise with it. It's just a really great overall brush, so I'm of course going to keep all of these. And I'm also going to keep this one because this is super similar. It's from Alamar, I think. No, it's from Luxie. It's the 245 small shader brush. So these are basically dupes. If you have the Luxie brush and you want to get more, get the Morphe one because it's way more inexpensive. And like I said, it's the Morphe M421 brush. So this is, I would highly recommend this brush. I think this is an amazing brush. This is the Morphe M167 brush. I don't like this brush. You would think looking at it, you're like, oh, I could use this for a lot of things, but it's just too, how would I explain this? It's just too rough. Like it's not very comfortable on the eyes. I don't like the bristles on this, so that one is going to be going. I do have quite a few of these kind of angled small brushes that I like to use for, you know, different things. I like using them for eyeliner, but I also like using them for brows. I like using them for my lower lash line if I want to be super precise. So I'm going to pull out all of my angled brushes because I have different uses for all of them. Like some are just like bigger than others and some are, you know, denser than others. And I like all of them, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep them. Man, I'm not doing a very good job at decluttering my eye brushes, and I really thought I would, so I don't know. I guess I've decluttered a little bit, but not as much as I would have liked to, so I guess I'll be a little bit rougher. The thing is, like, I feel like I can find a use for any brush, you know, and it's just nice to have a lot of different brushes because I go through my brushes all the time, and that just means I don't have to clean them as often, but I need to just buckle down a little bit and be a little bit more rough when going through these. So here are my spoolies. I don't have a lot. I have, let's see, I guess I only have 3. I'm not going to keep this. I don't like this. I don't even know where I got this. I guess I got this in a box. Yeah, I don't like this. I guess this is more of a brow brush. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this to someone else. I'm gonna keep my spoolies though, because these are great for when you get like mascara flakes on your eyes and you need to scrape them off. I use them for that all the time. Here's a brush from MOTD Cosmetics. This is just a blending brush. This is too big for me and it's also too small to be a highlighting brush, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. The same can probably be said for this BH Cosmetics brush, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one as well. And I'm also going to declutter this one, which is from Morphe. It's the MB44. So as you can see, I just don't like these big fluffy blending brushes. I never use them. Here's an Alamar brush, going to declutter this one as well. Same goes for this one from BH Cosmetics. It's the 8 brush, as well as, what are you, the 10 brush. Maybe I'll keep the 8 brush for highlighter. No, I have enough highlighting brushes, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Also going to get rid of this one, also from MOTD Cosmetics. And I'm also going to get rid of this one from Sigma, because these are basically all the same. Like, I never use this kind of brush because it's just too big for my eyes. I just can't get on board with it. I'm also going to declutter this one. This is also from that neon set. It's just a very dense. I guess I could use this for concealer, but I just never reach for it. I also never really reach for this Sigma E38 brush, but this one is a little bit smaller than some of these, so I think I am gonna go ahead and keep this because I do like this brush. Like I said before, Sigma does have really good quality brushes, so I don't want to get rid of all of them. I do want to give them a chance, but I am going to declutter all of these because I just never use them. And I'm also going to get rid of this one from OMFG Cosmetics because the bristles are just a little bit too big to even blend out eyeshadow primer because it's just too flimsy. Like I'm not able to get a good blend out of that, so I'm gonna get rid of that one as well. This is one of my favorites actually for blending out my eyeshadow primer. It's the Sephora collection brush. This is the 31 brush. It's called the Airbrushed Crease, so I guess it's supposed to be used for eyeshadows, but it's a very, very dense fluffy brush. Like so dense that it's great to blend out eyeshadow primer with, so I'm going to keep this. Here's one that I'm going to declutter. This one is from Pinky Rose. I love the shape of this. It's supposed to be, or I guess it's a dupe for the Morphe M506, but this is so scratchy and it just hurts my eye. Here's a pencil brush from MOTD Cosmetics. I don't really like pencil brushes, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. I'm also going to declutter this pencil brush. This is from the BH Cosmetics set. Let's see, do I have any other pencil brushes that I don't like here? I don't think I do, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter these two. Here are some Morphe brushes I have. This is the E17. I really like these for especially those Natasha Denona shadows. It's great for like creamed powders. These are very dense fluffy brushes and I really like these. They're also really good for if you want to pack on a color and you want it to be nice and opaque. Like if you're packing on a color in your outer corner or something and you want to start blending it out, these are great for that. So I'm going to keep both of these. Here is another MOTD Cosmetics brush. They sent me this set. I wouldn't have picked it up on my own, but I wanted to try it out since they wanted to send it to me. But I don't like the shape of these. The quality seems really nice. It's just not my kind of brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. So here's a Sonia Kashuk brush that I just bought. It's a little too big for my liking, but I'm gonna keep it anyway. It is a blending brush, as you can see. And I would say it's like a little bit smaller than the ones that I just decluttered. So for that reason, I'm gonna keep this, but this is like as big as I will go with my blending brushes. So here are some other brushes that are like basically the same brush. So one is from Smashbox. This is the full coverage shadow brush. So these are all like packing brushes that you can pack on shadows with, but they're also great for underneath your eye to smudge out with. So I love these. I'm going to keep all of them. This is the small eyeshadow brush from Sony Kashuk. If you've been looking for a good, like very soft but still dense smudging brush, these are amazing. I also have a lot of these eyeliner brushes here, and I'm going to keep all of them because even though some of them are not like my favorites, they're still great for just, you know, applying like liquid glitters and stuff, and I can find reasons to make all of these work, so I'm gonna keep all of them. Some of these are from a like paintbrush set from Amazon, like these ones, and I like them. It's just nice to have options, and this is also one of those things that just gets dirty after one use, so it's nice to have, you know, a variety of them. Actually, I'm going to declutter this one. This one is from Tarte. I used to love this and I've used it so often, but this is like so frayed that I'm just not able to be very precise with this at all. So this is the one that I'm going to declutter, and I'm going to keep all of these. Also going to keep this one. It's just a very flat kind of smudging brush that's nice to get close up to your lower lash line. Sorry if it feels like I'm breezing through these, but I don't want this to be an hour-long brush declutter, you know, so I'm trying to go through this as quickly as I can here. We are almost through though. We can definitely see the finishing line here. So here are more of my Luxie brushes. I'm going to keep all of these. All of these I got in a set. I will try to link this brush set from Luxie down below because I really, really do like it. Here are a couple of more smudging brushes that I'm going to keep. This is from the Vintage Company. This is from the Sephora collection. Sephora collection has really nice brushes, so I'm going to keep both of these. I am going to declutter this one though. Here's another MOTD Cosmetics brush. I just don't like the way the bristles are on these brushes. I don't know. I just don't really jive with them. I do have like a bullet brush here from BH Cosmetics. I really like this brush. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Here's another kind of bullet brush from Morphe. I don't like this. This is the Y20. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. I don't know, I just don't like the size of this. So I know I'm being very nitpicky and it seems like I'm decluttering brushes that I'm keeping, but like for me they're different, you know, like when you try them on the eyes, sometimes they just feel different than they do when you're just holding them. Can anyone else relate? Am I just super picky? I don't know. This is one of the few blending brushes from the BH Cosmetics set that I'm going to keep because this is small enough. This is the number 6 brush. Here's a Wet n Wild brush. I'm going to declutter this as the P15. It's not really dense enough to be a packing brush, and I also don't think it's dense enough to blend out any eyeshadow primer, and it's just too big for anything else. So I'm gonna declutter this. Gonna keep this lip brush though. This is from Makeup Forever. This is one of the ones that, you know, you can kind of take with you in your purse or whatever. It's kind of a cool brush, but definitely going to keep this. This one I think I'm going to declutter. This is the Morphe M124. I don't know, this is good for picking up certain kind of shimmers though, so I am going, yeah, I guess I should keep this because I don't have a lot of these, but it's just kind of scratchy on the eye and it's just not very comfortable to use. But if I have shimmers that are tough to pick up on a brush, this brush will usually pick them up, so I am going to keep this. I'm also going to keep this Luxie blending brush. This is one of my favorites from Luxie. It's the 231 small tapered blending brush. This one is awesome. Here's another Sigma brush. This is the E44. This is one of the larger versions of one of these small brushes that they came out with. I don't love this, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep it for another round anyway because I just like the quality of Sigma brushes a lot. And that can also be said for the E36, which I don't use that much, but it's a very, very nice, precise, small blending brush. And I'm also going to keep this one from Sigma. It is the E27. This is the detailed blending brush. This is the small version of one of the other ones that I showed you earlier. So I'm gonna keep all of these three. I am going to declutter this one. This is a Pat McGrath brush. I got this in one of the Christmas holiday collection sets. I don't know, that came with like single shadows and stuff. This brush sucks. It's so scratchy. It's so bad. I hate it. Here's another M124 brush that I just said I was going to keep, but I don't love, but I'm going to keep it anyway. Here's a small fan brush from the BH Cosmetics set. I guess this is for like a brow bone highlight. I don't really know. I never brow bone highlight, so I'm going to declutter this. I'm going to keep this one. This is the Inglot 10S brush. I love this small detail blending brush. Great little brush. Same can be said for this Cosette brush. It's basically the same brush. This is the S185. I also have a fluffy packing brush here from the Sephora collection that I'm going to keep. And then lastly, I have a sponge tip applicator thing also from the Sephora collection that I will also keep. So here are all the eyeshadow brushes that I'm decluttering. So I think I did okay in the end. I'm just happy to free up some more room in my brush holders, and I'm also going to declutter all of these face brushes here. So I think I did a pretty good job with the face brushes. I mean, those were a lot easier for me to declutter than the eye brushes. So these are all of the brushes that I will be decluttering. And like I said, oh, actually there's a couple of more here. So I think that's going to be it. I'm not going to count all of these because, I mean, there's just a lot of brushes here. But yeah, let me know how I did. Do you have as many brushes as I do? Am I just absolutely insane? I feel like I am. So I'm just happy to have freed up some more space, especially with my face brushes, because they were just overflowing and I never found the ones that I was looking for because I had so many that I just didn't really like. So that's gonna be it for this video. If you're still here, I mean, God bless you, because this was a long video and I don't even know if I could make it through a brush declutter this long. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to see some other declutters that I've done that maybe are a little bit more exciting, I will pop a few up on the screen so you can go watch those instead. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!